Welcome everybody to Avini's Thursday night call. Appreciate you guys coming out. Appreciate your time. And we have my co-host, Dr. Kim Shunkwiler. He's been a physician over 35 years. Lots of experience having to do with handling bodies, pain. Being a chiropractor, he really knows they're very valuable in our society. And we also have a special guest speaker going to be coming on in a couple of slides here. So welcome everybody. I'm going to share the screen. And we're going to go over some of the products we have, which are exceptional. We just had a summit, the Avini Summit in Vegas. It was exceptional summit. I just absolutely loved it there. I got lots to tell you about it and everything like that. But we're going to start basically with we have a problem in our society. We can get to that. We'll go overview the company, the solution, and where all you may be able to fit into this game with us here. Now, choosing what does health actually mean? It means learning to supply your cells with everything they need while keeping them free of toxins. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what happens, what we are told to actually do. We're told to eat good nutrition. We're told to have supplements and exercise. Now, why is it that in spite of all that, we find ourselves in an unhealthy situation? I mean, why do you think? So I'm going to bring here a guy. His name is Curt Fullerton. And I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself, Curt, there.
Okay.
Curt actually owns at least, I think, is 9 clinics you own, medical clinics, Curt?
No. I own 3, but I actually have quite a few clinics that I work with. I sell stem cells and a lot of other medical products to private practice clinics.
Right.
But I own 3 myself. Yeah.
Okay. And when I met Curt at the summit in Vegas, he looked very in shape and trim, and he was probably doing all of the above. Tell us your story, Curt. What happened with you in your life and how you met us and what occurred, please.
Yeah. So I'm almost 52 years old. Played college football. Been pretty active my whole life. And when I was 40, I was working in the financial world and living in Southern California, a little bit stressful, and small kids and all that stuff. And I went for my 40-year-old physical, like we're all told to do. And I hadn't been to the doctor in years. And I walk in there and they immediately take off my shirt and start shaving my chest and slapping electrodes on me and doing these EKGs and all this. And my blood pressure was like 240 over 135.
Wow.
And I had no idea, because as we know, blood pressure and diabetes is not really something you can feel. So, I had no idea. So it started me on just, full physical, then get me on all the blood pressure medications, all the normal ones, and, got it down a little bit. And then the last 12 years, every year, several times a year, my medications basically stopped working. And I would have these high blood pressure episodes that would land me in the hospital for 3, 4, 5, 6 days. And I've been to every specialist you can imagine, the top cardiologists. I went to the U.S. News and World Report #1 cardiologist in the United States in 2016. And they were doing echocardiograms and they were doing ultrasounds. And I mean, they were doing everything possible to try and figure out what the cause of my blood pressure is. And nobody could figure it out. I didn't have a vein problem, didn't have an artery problem, didn't have a heart problem, didn't have a kidney problem, no adrenal problems, all the normal, it's going to be one of those things, typically. And they couldn't figure it out. And so for the last 12, and then I got into medicine, working in medical device and lab services and owning clinics and, even my own doctors that work for me. And so when PPE happened, I ended up, or I'm sorry, not PPE, COVID. When COVID happened, I ended up talking to this doctor in Germany, and he's like, "Well, over here in Germany, we've forgotten more about the heart than most American doctors know. So why don't you come over here?" I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do that because, I still got a 12-year-old and I need to live a long time. But, it was going to be upside of 100 grand, to go see those people. And, they're not cheap. And I didn't have $100,000. So I'm like, well, let's turn to the naturopathic way. Let's see if that'll work. So I did every diet, I lost 50 pounds. I started, taking shakes and, vitamins and all this other stuff. And, things would work for a couple of weeks. And then, I'd go right back to being where I was. So about 6 weeks ago, I went to Beverly Hills and met with a naturopathic chiropractor who was into functional medicine. And he goes, "Oh, I know what your problem is." I said, "What's that?" He says, "You've got a toxic liver." He goes, "You've got a liver full of inflammation and full of heavy metals," because most doctors, they don't check that. That's just it's just a garbage can for your body. And, that's the waste. And that's never the cause of anything. That's just where the things go that aren't doing well. And so he did this test on me, and sure enough, my liver was inflamed like 17%. And he's like, "Yeah, your liver's not flushing out the toxins properly into the urinary tract. They're actually going back into your bloodstream and to your heart. And that's probably why your blood pressure is out the roof all the time." And when I say that, a normal day for me, just a Wednesday in the middle of June, my blood pressure was running around 190 over 105.
Wow.
Okay, that's on 6 medications and a patch that gives me 24-hour transdermal medication. So I'm just thinking, you know what? I'm just going to have to live with this until I don't. And I said, well, how do I fix this liver? And he said, "Oh, that's easy." He goes, "There's this company called Avini. They got this product called Cell Defender." He goes, "Why don't you go order 10 bottles of it and do it every couple of hours for the first week, and then maybe drop it down to 3 or 4 times a day, or just however it's going." So I said, okay. So I immediately did it, and I met Steve here, and he kind of walked me through the process. And I ordered 7 bottles actually, and I started doing it. And I didn't check my blood pressure for the first 3 weeks because I didn't want to be discouraged. I just wanted to do what Steve here told me to do, and what Dr. Harari told me to do, because he'd had a lot of results with it. And sure enough, the Monday before the event in Vegas, I checked my blood pressure, and the first time I checked it was 122 over 72.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I did it again on my other arm, and it was the same. And I got up, I took my blood pressure device at my house and I threw it in the trash, and I drove down to CVS and bought a brand new one, because I'm like, well, that's broken. Okay. I mean, they're only $25, right?
Yeah.
So I go down, I buy a new one, I go home, I take it, same blood pressure. And I couldn't believe it. 12 years of doing everything except go to Germany. And so it's been, about 9, 10 days now, 11 days. And, this morning was actually 116 over 68.
Whoa.
So, and I hadn't even done the fiber or the nano silver either. So I just did the Cell Defender. So I got those at the event. I'm taking those, and of course I'm ordering the new cardiovascular product that I'm sure will also help. Still don't know the cause of my blood pressure. I'll probably never know. It's just one of those things that it was just unexplainable. But this product is the only thing I'm doing different. And with all the different medications that I've been on, they're just doctors. What they do is they say, well, there's about 15 blood pressure medications out there, and we're just going to mix and match and try to find the right cocktail that works for your body. That's what I've been doing, and it'll work for, like I said, a week or two. It'll get down to 140 over 85, maybe something like that, and I'll get excited, and then it goes right back up. So anyway, as I told Steve, I was never afraid. I'm kind of a go-getter, especially in the medical field. But now, for the first time in my life, I'm afraid of something that Cell Defender will not be available to me someday. And so I'm counting on all of you guys to go out and keep this company alive, so I can keep taking this product. So pretty excited.
I would be too, Curt. That is exceptional. Now, Dr. Kim, if you could, because you have the medical experience, if you could come on board and just say, you see, there's a little bit of a, I think a training moment we can have here, having to do with how effective the product works and working with your doctor in order to make sure that you work with your doctor to decrease those meds, because whatever you're doing, the Cell Defender and our products will actually not negate what you're doing, but will actually make those things work better. So could you comment on that, Dr. Kim, please?
Yeah, I might go on a little bit of a rant here, if you don't mind, Steve, for a minute, because this is crazy. I was in practice 35 years. I had a certification in functional medicine in Curt. I sold thousands and thousands of dollars worth, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of nutritional supplements over those years. And since I retired 2 years ago, and I think I've learned more in the last 6 months since I've been with Avini than I learned or knew 37 years prior. Here's what it boils down to. You just got to assume you're toxic. We are all toxic. We can't avoid it. I just got a text. Kroger, Publix, they're pulling the apple juice off the shelves because it's full of arsenic, and we're giving this to our kids. Our kids are toxic. We're toxic. And I think I've come to the realization that every supplement that doctors give, every medication that doctors give, are basically to try and counteract the effects of underlying toxins. So do you know what a governor is, like a governor on an engine?
Yep.
All right. So I think that's what toxins are. We've got this marvelous, fantastic body that can heal just about anything. I used to marvel people that survived the camps in Germany in World War II, and they come out looking like human skeletons. And some of those people lived to be 80, 90 years old. Once they got out, their bodies were able to heal and do amazing things. But toxins are like a governor on our cells. They don't let them do the things they're supposed to do. And I used to tell my patients, fix the cell and you will get well. But the thing is, I didn't know how to fix the cell, really. We kept giving the latest, hottest, newest nutritional supplement that's supposed to fix things. Say, we're going to do detox. We give them basically something to make them go to the bathroom quicker. So that stuff doesn't work. And we are so, to me now, I realize it's a privilege to be associated with this company, because we've really got the only product that makes sense and is effective for taking these toxins to the body. So when you do that, you take the governor away, and here, we've got all these conditions we tried to put names on: moth-eaten alopecia, lupus. I always use those terms to cover, with Curt's case, high blood pressure, hypertension. It's all indicative of the body's inability to take care of itself, and the governor's on. So if we only think about taking the governor off, letting the body do what it's supposed to do, we don't have to worry about putting names on things. All we got to worry about is getting our next bottle of Cell Defender, taking it right. Things are so much easier now than they used to be. That's it. That's as simple as it is.
Awesome, Doc. That's perfect. Curt, is there anything that you like to tell our audience to
Thank
wrap
you.
up here?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of people, they either anti-functional medicine or they believe in it. There's very few people that are in the middle, right? They either believe they're doctors or they believe, people like us that have real stuff. Okay. And of course, the FDA, they only approve things that can kill you. So I don't really listen to them either because
Yeah.
they don't ever approve the stuff that works. So, when someone asks you, well, is this FDA approved or I'm actually happy it's not because that means it works. And so I don't mind saying that, to people, even my own patients at my clinic. But I just think for everybody, especially if you've been through the rigors like I have, the number one thing that people go to bed every single night and they say to themselves in their prayers or however, whatever they do is, I will try anything if I know it, if it's got a chance of working. I will try anything. Okay. And really, when someone's talking to you, if it's like Dr. Harari, I trust everything he says. If he tells me to try something, I'm going to try it. But if it's your next door neighbor, well, what do you know? You're an accountant. How do you know that this is going to work for me? You're not a doctor. Okay. Just say, look, you've got ailments. You've tried everything. You're on opioids. You're on blood pressure medication. You're on whatever it is that you're on. It's just a Band-Aid, doctors don't ever say they're going to heal you. They just say they're going to try and take you out of pain, which is important. Now, nobody likes to be in pain, but with blood pressure, with diabetes, you don't really feel it. So it wasn't like I was in pain. So there's two ways to look at it. I've been doing all week is I've been calling on everybody that I know has problems. Say, look, remember when I was in the hospital last May? Remember when I was in the hospital at Christmas time? Remember in 2016 when I called you up, told you how bad I was? All these people in my life, they know the last 12 years what I've been through and the excitement they see that I finally found something that works and is going to continue to work. That's the only thing you got to do. Okay? Do not just pretend like when you're talking to somebody, you're talking to yourself. You're talking in the mirror because, I'm actually upset that nobody told me about, and I know about everything. I've been to every medical trade show in the world. I know every product that's out there. I've seen it all. And I've been approached by every single company. I'm like, how is it that I've never heard of this? And so, with only, 600-700 people, at the event, I mean, I've been to events with 7,000 people, and the products weren't even half as good as this. So I just think make it a top priority, like I told Steve for the last, I don't know how many years, when I leave the house, I have my glasses, I have my keys, I have my cell phone and my wallet. Well, now I've added my bottle of Cell Defender to those 4 things. And now I do not leave without, period.
Awesome. Thank you, Curt.
You're welcome.
That was awesome. And we appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. All right.
If you need to jet, you can, Curt. Not a problem. If you want to hang out, that's fine too.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds
okay.
good.
So what I'd like to do, Doc, is just take a look at the next thing here. Could it be that humans are toxic, leading to unhealthy cells? Could it be just that simple? Well, I'm going to show you a little video here. I thought I was going to show you a little video here. Okay, I guess not today. This video is about actually the topic Dr. Kim alluded to earlier, arsenic, and how it is embedded in everything, in water, in our food supply, in pesticides, in chemicals. You're looking at 2 men who have lost their both. I lost my son in 2004, and Dr. Kim lost his son to, I think it was glyphosate, right, Dr. Kim?
It was lymphoma caused by glyphosate,
right,
Roundup.
Right. I was just a mess for 6 months. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't work. My big jobs was I was working marine construction at that time, and I just didn't do anything. I had beautiful religion, the Hutterites in Salt Lake City, bring my family food, and then eventually the wife decided to divorce me, and I lost all my stepchildren. So in one fall swoop, I lost my whole family. And this is, guess what, caused by these particular things called toxins. Now, I'll me share something that happened to me at the event, at the summit in Vegas. There is a young boy, 7 years old. His name is Ace, okay? He had inoperable bad cells in his brain, inoperable, 8 months to live. So they got him, this is 4 months ago, right? They got him on the cell defender, and the first MRI, it looked like as though the bad cells was spreading, and they were encouraged. And how this company is so special to me, because it was the CEO Neil Roth and also Rick Deitz, the formulator himself. They went to their house and personally helped them. This is a CEO of a company and the formulator of a company, right? So they were at the event. The last report was this: all those bad cells have started to dissipate. They started to break up. And before, he couldn't even go to school. He actually lost the use of his right arm. He couldn't even use his right arm anymore. He got the use of his right arm, couldn't go to school because he was just so out of it. Now he's back to school and his right arm is revitalized. The fight is not completed, but this is what we have here. We have pure magic. When you take care of the toxins and get rid of the toxins, this is what it happens in the body. The body can heal itself. Dr. Kim, your viewpoint on that?
Well, I think I might have covered it earlier. It's really simple, and I know when my son he got diagnosed in March of 2010, and we tried everything that we do. I mean, we went to every alternative care provider. He did chemo. He did everything. Poor kid was so full of lymphoma that there was just nothing we could do. But that's how powerful these toxins are. He was a professional golfer for a while. He spent a lot of time on the golf course around herbicides, and he and I loved to hunt and fish, and we'd make golf plots for deer. Of course, he used Roundup to kill the existing vegetation. I used to call him the Roundup Kid. And we were told it was completely safe, that once it hit the ground, it was inert. Now, at this point, after he died in July, so it was like 4 months after he was diagnosed, he was gone. And since that time, I've done a lot of research into glyphosate. And you got to realize that this particular thing is now ubiquitous. It's affected every living person on the face of the planet. If you eat, breathe, or drink anything, you have been affected by glyphosate. There's no getting away from it. Arsenic is everywhere. Cadmium is everywhere. Lead is everywhere. I'm old enough to remember when we switched to unleaded fuels, but that was maybe in my 20s, I think, something like that. But
right
before that, the atmosphere was full of lead. So we're all full of lead. We pass this on down to our kids. The only strategy that makes sense, because this all taxes our liver, and then we go out and we start taking supplements. Well, the liver holds about 90 to 120 day supply of nutrients, and anything more than that is superfluous. It's gone. But the liver has to process to store it, and you wear out your liver taking all these supplements. They do nothing. So the only solution that makes sense is to take toxins out of the blood. So you have to have a product that gets through the gut into the blood and pulls the toxins out of the blood. And Cell Defender is the only product that does that. I'm probably jumping all over your future slides here, Steve, and I apologize.
It's totally fine.
It's the only strategy that really effectively cleanses the body. I stopped taking about all my supplements. I take one multivitamin about every 2, 3, 4 weeks now, and been doing better and better and better all along, because I'm getting rid of all this. I'm getting rid of the governor on my cells, and we're letting them go to work and do the things they're supposed to do. So I don't know if they answer your question, Steve.
Perfect. So we got these toxins, guys. Where do they all come from? Air, water, petroleum, agriculture. They're ubiquitous everywhere around us, and they create acute, chronic, and severe problems, maladies, disease. Even the PFAS, the forever molecules, the organic VOCs, the plastic, the microvolatile stuff that comes out of plastic. It's just terrible. So where we find it in food, flame retardants, popular drinks, turf, supplements, and even in our newborns. The mom passes on her toxins to her child. If we only knew then. Look at all the money that's spent on this, on healthcare. Is there a solution? Well, here's the solution, Doc. And now this is the spearhead of our company right here. And as actually, this is a Rick Deitz video here that was supposed to be here, but for some reason, when I transposed this, the video disappeared. So that's okay.
Would you like me to do a synopsis of that little video, Steve?
Go.
Okay, so Rick was charged with the task of finding something that would take chemotherapy out of the system after it did its job, because it stays there, and a lot of it's full of heavy metals, and so he did research and found that zeolite would probably be the perfect thing, the clinoptilolite, because it has a cage-like structure with a negative charge, and we all know that opposites attract, right? So what this does, everything that's harmful to us has a positive charge. And what he found out is that the smaller, more positively charged particles are the ones most attracted into this negatively charged cage. They get in there and they can't get out. So when these things go through the body, the liver recognizes the dirt, the kidney recognizes the dirt, and out it goes in the urine. But when he was doing his research, he found that all the clinoptilolite that he could get his hands on was already dirty. It was sitting around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, taking, getting water run through it and air, and just filling up with toxins. And he also realized it was too big. It couldn't get into through the gut and get into the blood. Rick's a pretty smart guy. And here I am, I'm 73 years old, and I got to admit that I become kind of a Rick Deitch groupie. The guy's really smart, and he knows what he's doing. So he realized that he had to first make this stuff smaller, because it's like 5 to 50 microns. He had to get it down to less than 1 micron, less than 2 microns, and then he had to be able to clean it, because you can't clean your countertop with a dirty sponge. It doesn't work. You got to clean it. So he worked for years and came up with the process that will micronize and clean the clinoptilolite. Now it works. It gets through the gut into the blood and does its job. And it's the only process that will do that. So we are very, very fortunate to have sole use of this product at this point in time to help people change their lives. And that's my 1 minute and 10-second synopsis of Rick's video.
Awesome, excellent, perfect. So let's see what we have here else. And here's a picture of our facility. We have 18,504 square foot FDA CGMP regulated manufacturing facility in Florida, Boca Raton. And these gentlemen, Doug Dickey, Rick Deitch, and Neil are the executives of the company. They're fantastic. And all I can say is just good things about these guys. Rick, and 3 ways with him, he is so compassionate to helping people. And why is this important? Well, basically, he is the category creator of this product, with 8 million bottles already sold. And this is the only liquid suspended zeolite, clinoptilolite, that has a 34-step, 3-day detoxolite process to clean, micronize, and activate. All other zeolites are copycats. We're the only company who has 15 clinical trials behind us, the only one in the world. So that makes it very special. And we also have other health products. I'm not going to go over it because we spent quite a bit of time today on this, on our primary product, which is good. But we have something for immune modulation. Okay, we got something called Immunity, nano silver, which cleans out all pathogens in your body that are not supposed to be there. It's a special type of nano silver, and also gel. And we have the fiber. This is like Paul Stour says, this is not your mama's fiber. This is a special fiber which is really good for any kind of blood sugar issues. And we have a hydration which is proven, even by the German sports club, has been proven. They won major competitions because of this. Major baseball companies have used this. And we have a pain product, fantastic pain product. We have a Trim Science product that's for any kind of chubbiness that you might want to get rid of. And we have an energy product. And also we have for our 4-legged friends, our important 4-legged friends, Cell Defender for pets and Cell Plus Relief for pets. And now, folks, excited to tell you, amongst all the excitement that I got already, Cardio Care and Plus Mind and Vision.
I talked to Paul. He'd been on the product for 5 days. Yesterday we had breakfast. He said he couldn't believe, because he'd been pushing it for a week and getting a little sleep. And he said, I can't believe how clear my mind is right now, taking the Plus Mind and Vision. He says, my focus is amazing. And I could tell because I've known Paul for a while, and I can tell when he gets a little tired, he slows down a little bit. But he was sharp as a tack. So these two products are going to change a lot of lives. I'm convinced of it.
Thanks, Doc. And I just want to remark, in addition to that, the cardio care, okay, having to do with any heart issues, irregular heartbeat, even circulatory issues, with plaque being built up, okay? This is the product for us guys. My mom died of actually congestive heart failure. So these products were not available then, and I am so happy that they are now. And plus mind vision, any kind of vision, people have a lot of, and there's a connection between the mind and the eyes. It's like, because the image is formed in the back of the brain. It's amazing how these things work together. So any kind of thing that's going on in the mind that I think will help. So here's some videos. You guys can go to avinihealth.com. There's videos there, tons of videos, lots. And there's another site called avinihealthtraining.com. avinihealthtraining.com. You go to the bottom of that page, look up Testimonial Index. You'll find 1,500 testimonials on different categories. What is your participation required here? Well, number one, if you want to learn more, you can. If you want to become a retail customer, you can. And if you want to get product at a wholesale cost, you can become a distributor. It's not necessary to be a distributor, but you can take advantage of distributor packages, which are actually less than wholesale cost. So, and what does this give you? It gives you a lifetime membership being a distributor with 20% off retail, no monthly commitments, no cost, and this is a no-cost home business that we provide the back office and intuitive mobile app with that. Well, folks, I just want to say thanks, Dr. Kim. Thank you, Curt, for your input into this. Any final word, Dr. Kim, do you want to say to the folks?
No, I think I said what I wanted to say, Steve. I just want to say that this company is special. I've been in the network marketing business for, oh gosh, I actually started with a small company out of Ada, Michigan, back when I was in junior high, back in the early 60s. My mom and I. So I go back a long way. I'm more than impressed by what this company has put together. The guys that are running it are top notch. They have put together a fantastic compensation plan, and they set it up so it can be great for anybody. If you just want to buy the product, great. Just want to use the product, great. If you want to buy it wholesale, great. That's fantastic. If you want to take it a step further and look at it as maybe a part-time business, great. You want to make it a full-time business, you can do that. You have the absolute help, any help you need, you want, you can get, and make of it what you wish. So it's just a nice place to be at this point in my life, and I hope other people's lives too. We're going to change the world. These products you can't get anywhere else, and they do change lives.
I couldn't have said it any better, my friend. So guys, please get back to the person who invited you to this presentation, and they'll answer all your questions. I'm going to hit the stop the recording button, and then we can ask Dr. Kim any questions that anybody wants. 1 second, hang on.